WKJEM. Copy and paste that obviously into your browser, and you'll jump right in. Colin.
Jesus, Colin didn't even wait. He's just bursting into the scene.
Why? Oh, hold on. That's
you gotta switch the setup. That's why we're still on the
switch
scoreboard.
the setup. Still on the scoreboard. All right, Colin, welcome in. Oh man, you're scheming already.
I think there's if we played that exact game and went 0-0, I would still be pretty fucking happy.
That's fair.
The attitude in that game was stand up. Our subs came in, maintained the pressure. We started with the foot on the pedal, didn't release the foot on the pedal. Dash, you were making comments about how you were calling out Chiesa for being a great number 10. I agree, huge potential. But I would like to refer to, I think several call-ins ago where people were shitting on our boy McKennie, and I said, you give McKennie some consistency, and he's going to be all right. Is he going to be a superstar? No. But can we depend on him as a sub? Absolutely. I think he's I don't find him a liability coming on for the last 30, 40 minutes. I think he's got the engine that can really press the opposing team into making mistakes. Usually when you'll see teams who play that top-heavy game, they start to die out 65th, 70th minute. And then McKennie's a good, solid 1-2 punch to come in after the job, and he just keeps the force there. I mean, instantly with that cross across the net, number of interceptions. I can't say for certain. Dave's Mr. Statistics. I'm sure he'll tell me if I'm right or wrong, but our passing must have been 85% or up.
You know what? I'm going to pull that up first real quick.
Because last year, I think our average is 76 or some shit like that.
Yep.
So I think that was the biggest problem is the passing and the passes connected. They connected, and they weren't bullshit lateral passes, negative passing. There was a lot of we used the lanes quite a bit, 1-2s quite a bit, except for that Polak. Milik, 1-2, brother. 1-2, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move the ball quicker.
You mean it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shoulder check.
So but man, I think it's, and maybe I'm just so depressed from last year that I'm going to be over the moon too easily, but I think it's really hard to find some stuff to be overly negative about from this game.
No, I don't think there is. And so to answer your question on this one, so you said, what was the pass accuracy? Today's pass accuracy was 88%. And only 379 passes.
Can't ask for more.
And then you want to know, you know what? I'll share it. Why am I being stingy? Let me share it with you guys. So looking at it from a statistical approach here. So as I'm waiting for it to populate, there we go. Boom. And then again, guys, you want to join in on the conversation, click the StreamYard link in the chat. Dave posted it. So looking at it from a statistical standard, we're at 48% to their 52 expected goals. They're at 1.85 and we were at 0.86, which I thought was kind of interesting, but it's X goals. 18 total shots to their 9. So we peppered them. 2 big chances. We've missed 2 big chances, unfortunately. 3 offside to their 7 corners. See, FotMob has it listed as offside. So when people call me for saying, stop saying offsides, suck it. But overall, statistics look pretty good. Good passes, good movement of play. I think overall, solid performance. Specshaver sharp performance.
Get that tag in.
Got to get that tag in. Well, it's because KF Squad coming in saying, so I predicted the game. He did. Him and Bones both had the 3-0 win on this one. So congratulations, you two. Gumpachiro says, yo, dead. And then KF Squad says, ball knowledge is sharp for the start of the season. I think so too. I'm kind of curious. I wanna read Twitter a little bit and see what people are saying. But I just, again, for me, it's like, I don't know. It's interesting because I saw Marco tweet. He's like, hey, man, Fede and Vlahovic linking up? Who would have thought that? I'm like, and then Misak actually commented, the savage that he is, said everyone that watched the preseason. I died laughing. So yeah, not really anything too crazy, but looks like there is some good optimism. I think us as a community here have called it since the get-go. I mean, we all thought it was going to go this way, and I think it went that way, right?
Absolutely. And then I think some having Yildiz coming and getting 10 minutes of this early in the season, that speaks to how much Allegri trusts him.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is someone had mentioned how Sandro was playing midfielder. What I noticed during the game is that when we had the ball, we had Bremer and Danilo on the outside of our 3-man, and Locatelli would press up as a stopgap, and then you'd have Sandro press just above that last tier of 2 men, and it made it so there was no putting the ball through the middle. The pockets in the corners are still there, but because the middle was so packed, they never had the chance to look up and to shoot the ball into those pockets. Yep. Like that Vinicius Jr. type of goal, which I know is going to be hard to replicate. But it would be, I fucking hate saying this, Dash, but Allegri's tune-up might have been good.
He's cooking?
I mean, shit, man. Like, the adjustments that he's made, and I was very much an Allegri out guy. Like, I mean, without losing 41 million, I am very happy that I was able to eat my words for this one game. We'll see how the season goes, but for this one game, I'm super happy to eat my words.
It's the same thing I am with Dusan. Like, the thing is, again, I'm not Dusan's biggest fan. I have issues with him. Not personal issues because I don't know the guy, but like, for example, with his play style. But today, I thought his touches were cleaner than normal. I thought his movements were cleaner than normal. That header would have been filthy if that had gone in. Yeah, you know, he got
the first goal too. He's the one who snatched that first with that ball to set Chiesa free. I don't think, and whoever called him a diva, divas don't go and recover the ball. Divas don't go make tackles. Divas don't go set up balls the way he did. Chiesa, however, when Moretti didn't pass him the ball, that's diva shit. So I'm sorry, brother. I know you run this place, but Chiesa could come or go, and I wouldn't care.
So speaking of report cards, so David is saying, guys, what are your report cards? Mine is Dusan's first touch is still trash, but he knew a bit better where to be on the pitch. Passing was still nonchalant at sometimes, but it will grow with chemistry. I think if I were to rate our performance, I would say an 8 out of 10. Just because it's one of those things where I don't want to say 10 out of 10 because I think there's still some stuff. Like, for example, Moretti's decision making definitely needs some work, as well as Illing. I thought Illing was really lackluster when he subbed in. I thought it was just, I don't want to say that he was bad or anything like that, but like, it's just one of those things where he was playing as a left wing back. And I don't know. I didn't see the dynamism that you would see from Cambiaso when Cambiaso's there. And I'm not expecting him to do what Cambiaso does, but it's almost kind of like he's like Kostic, but instead of crossing, is his one-dimensionalism is his pace. So it's like maybe he'll grow into it, but I didn't see much out of Illing. I thought Bremer was really stiff this game as well. That was one of the things as well. So those were like the 3 things that I kind of wanted to report more. So it was Illing, Moretti, and Bremer being a little bit stiff. My W's this game, I think Alexandro deserves a W for his versatility on how he was playing. I think Sandro played very, very well. We might do a contract year Sandro meme like we did last year with Rabiot. I think Chiesa stole the first half easy in my opinion, with his ability to play as that 10 with that banger outside the box. The other player that I thought did quite well, even though obviously Cambiaso MVP for sure. I want to give props to McKennie because McKennie, with a lot of interceptions, a lot of good defensive reads, really locked down that right side. Udinese could not do anything on our right side of the field. So those are my report cards.
So Dash, then would you say, and this is more for Dave, but Dash, would you say that the wing backs were the key to unlocking the game today?
Yes, 100%.
Just gonna pat myself on the back there.
I do, because I think with inverted wingback play, I mean, even with like decent wingback play, like I said during the stream, I said there's 2 important factors that you need to have a solid wingback. You don't need a world-class dribbler. You don't need a João Cancelo or anything like that. One thing you need is a motor, and the second thing is you need an accurate ball. Cambiaso has both of those right now, the motor and the accurate ball. I think Timmy Weah has that as well, too. Unfortunately, he got stepped on and he had to get subbed out as a precautionary. I think McKennie can develop that accurate ball, but McKennie has a motor. I want to see a little bit more out of Illing because Illing did essentially send Kostic. Kostic is technically the third string left back right now, third string left wing back. So Kostic is sayonara, unfortunately. But when you're third on that pecking order, either you learn how to play on the right side or you're gone. But the thing is like the ability to open up the game that Cambiaso did. The same thing with Weah, or they pressed Udinese back because Udinese wasn't sure where the ball was coming in. And then it's like, for example, you look at that, our left side is probably going to be our best side this season. Because again, Sandro was an experienced left back in his heyday. Same thing where you have, for example, Cambiaso playing on the left as a left-bound player. Same thing with Chiesa as well. You have three factors on that left side, and Udinese did not have an answer for any of it at all that game. So looking at it from a future sight, I'm hoping the right side develops a little bit better. But once that right side develops, nobody really knows how to, no one really understands how to defend Juve at that point once both sides get cooking.
And I think that's where Sandro is so key, because he creates that triangle midway through the field that makes it really hard to unlock the pockets. I really do. I really feel that Allegri had just a masterclass with the tactics this one. Because, yeah, the way he pinched up to play as a defensive midfielder when we didn't have the ball made counterattacking fucking difficult. I mean, it hurts me to compliment Allegri so much, but I'm glad to do it.
I think, and the thing is I think this is like the modernization of Allegri's tactics. Because, like, for example, if you look at his best time, which was 16-17, I think that was like peak Allegri ball. What'd you have on the field? You had Sandro as a left winger. You had Dani Alves as a right winger, alongside with Mandzukic and Cuadrado. They interchanged in those spots. And then you had Dybala, Higuain, and then that front, because he was running the 4-2-3-1, that interchangeability. Because, like, for example, Sandro could come in as a left wing back, or, like, for example, Sandro could play as a left back, and then Mandzukic play, and those two could overlap each other. And then it's like same thing on the right with Dani Alves and Cuadrado. Like, it was just that overlapping that was just insane. And then this is what you're seeing, but you're seeing a more evolved form of it. You're kind of seeing what Pep Guardiola does, as far as, because Pep Guardiola runs a back three as well, but it's just the interchangeability and the inverted wing play that Guardiola does. Because, like, for example, KDB is hanging out on that left side, and then, like, for example, on the right side you have Bernardo Silva. So it's like
KDB is just hanging on to a ligament at this point, it seems.
Touche. Fair enough. But, like, you look at it though, the way that City is playing, and I'm not saying that Juve is 100% like Man City, guys. I'm not pumping that smoke up yet, but when you look at the styles of that back three and how it's operating, it's almost similar to what Pep is doing at Man City, what Allegri's trying to emulate at Juve. It took Allegri 3 years because, again, I'm very confident, and now I am pretty damn confident in saying that when Allegri came in the first season, he's like, holy crap, this is a shitstorm. I need to figure this out. Tried to. Second season, Allegri's like, our defense is trash. I need to fix the defense. He fixed the defense last season. It sucked offensively, but defensively we were pretty decent. We could hold people out. It's just we couldn't score. This season and this off season, I think it's okay. I've got the defense on lock. My back three is Sandro, Bremer, and Danilo. And then anyone else that comes in. That's it. And then he's like, okay, let's work on this intricacy of playing. Okay, so I need this piece. I need to keep Cambiaso because Cambiaso can do this. I need Timmy Weah. We got Timmy Weah. I mean, outside of Lukaku, there isn't really any other player that Juve's chasing or desperately needs. I mean, they wanted Agostino, but Agostino went to Inter, which is fine. But the thing is you look at it, all of it's there, and I think Allegri's got what he needs, and especially now with the 1 week, a game a week where he can prep properly, it's Allegri cooking season. It's the revenge tour.
What exactly, and I'm not saying you're pro Lukaku, but what exactly would that homeless bum would have brought to this game? He certainly would not have intercepted the ball for the first goal.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a different way, right? So, like, for example, Dusan's a little bit more free-flowing and goes all over the place. I think the play style, instead of Cambiaso, I think it runs through Lukaku, and Lukaku then feeds Cambiaso and Weah and Chiesa on the edges. I think that's how it is. Because, like, for example, if you see what Inter did with Thuram, essentially, was like, again, they gave Thuram the ball. Thuram was trying to feed or find Lautaro, DeMarco, or Dumfries more so. So that's kind of what you saw with Inter there. That's kind of what I think Allegri would have utilized. It's almost like it's almost like we would have had a same kind of attacking or counter-attacking style that Inzaghi has with Inter, more so. But that's the difference. Because, like, for example, Lukaku and Dusan are different players entirely. Lukaku offers you a different skill set than Dusan does. The thing is, the issue right now with Lukaku and Dusan, and we got to call a spade right now, but Dusan's floor is lower than Lukaku. But Dusan's floor is a lot lower than Lukaku's floor right now. It's the objective truth when you're looking at it from an off-the-ball movement. Though Dusan's ceiling is higher than Lukaku's ceiling is currently. So, like, for example, if you look at it from a scale, Lukaku right now will give you a 5 to a 7 at best as far as performance and effort, right? And then when you look at it from Dusan can give you a 3, but he can also pump it up to a 9.
What we're doing right now is we need grit and mobility way more than we need flash. And if we're just talking about those two, Dusan provides the mobility and the grit more than Lukaku.
That's fair. Holy smokes, Lecce beat Lazio?
85th and 87th minute goals.
That's hilarious.
Almqvist and Di Francesco.
And,
no, that was the last game of my parlay that ruined my ticket.
Chosenism says Lukaku would have blocked all 3 goals.
Yeah. Best goaltender for sure. Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. I was just trying to obviously find the scores here of the games we may have missed. And yeah, we did miss this one. Lecce 2-1 over Lazio. Bad start. We both put Lazio a bit further down the table. Maybe this is a sign of things to come.
We missed David's comment on DAZN. So DAZN Germany reporting before the game that Wolfsburg are on Kostic, and he won't play any minutes because of that. Or
if it's Wolfsburg, that means we're not getting 15 million though.
Yeah, it means we're getting 5 and a high 5.
That'll be interesting.
Max we get is 10 out of Wolfsburg.
Yeah. 15 would be okay. You'd think he'd be worth more, but I guess not.
How old is he now? He's 30 on the button, no?
I think he's 31. About to be. Yeah, 31.
Yeah.
So he's probably more suited for. If we're going to be like empathetic and think about both parties, I think he's more suited for them than he would be Villa. And, and he's not done anything shitty at Juve. So if he does move on, I definitely wish him all the most success he can get out of the rest of his career. And I feel like I think going back to Germany would probably be best for that.
I think for him it's better to go to the Bundesliga because it's like, again, there's literally, Dave could probably comment on this better than me, but there's little to no defense. He can cross to his heart's content in Germany.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll be following it. That's for sure.
I meant German Dave.
No, I know. I'm just adding on to the end, but I'm saying we will see because there's 10 days left. I expect a little bit more movement. Kostic, kind of my favorite name right now to be moved around, just because Cambiasso came out of nowhere. He's here.
I don't think we're going to be bringing anybody new even though what we discussed last week. I'm starting to think that Allegri is starting to settle on his nucleus. And I think now it's getting rid of the what's the saying? Trimming the fat.
Yeah.
Because who would you bring in?
This part, Samardich was one of those names, but do we need a midfielder? Because Nicolucci,
slimy in his contract negotiations. Fuck that.
Yeah, and that's part of it too.
If he thinks he's slimy, then that's a special level of slimy.
Nickelodeon slimy.
There you go.
Nickelodeon. There's a boomer reference. Actually, let's go back here. Let's bring this up by Mr. Aliyev. Your thoughts about Cuadrado transfer to Inter, please.
I really don't care.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I don't know. Everybody's freaking out about it, and it's like, guys, I don't care.
He's been a loyal servant. He played his heart out for us for countless years. He deserves to make whatever the rest of his career is. And if he's going to choke and give up the ball like he did here the last 2-3 years, God bless. Thank God Inter took him.
And you know, the funny thing is I was watching that game too, and he did choke and give up the ball like 4 or 5 times. So it's like I'm not dogging on Cuadrado, but at the same time, I really don't care. Like, he's gone. He's not a Juve player. Why is everybody freaking out and like, oh my God?
I can just see the Inter fans right now. They're like, oh, it's just his first match. You know, give him some time. He'll settle in.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I want to say, like, this is the main thing I want to put out there. It's like, it's not like Dybala. It's a different situation. Juve said, you're done. We're not offering you anything. Adios. And he's like, okay, fine. I'm going to go sign somewhere. Not where it's like, for example, mid negotiations with Dybala, and then his used car salesman uncle is like, hey, Inter, by the way, do you want Dybala's services? That's a different conversation if Dybala were to sign for Inter at that point. But like, if Juve said, hey, kick rocks, like, why are we upset with the fact that Juve's like, hey, we're not India. We told you to go, and you picked the team. It's not like, you know, if he scores against us, I'm going to be pissed. But like, at the same time, what are we like sitting here freaking out about? Like,
there's no reason. People, I mean, I guess I'm a boomer with Dave, but people forget Pirlo played for both Inter Milan and us. Ronaldo, OG, real Ronaldo, played for both Milans. Baggio, I mean, I can't even remember where Baggio didn't play.
Yeah.
You know? So I think people look at Del Piero and Totti and they think that's the norm, and but if it was the norm, they wouldn't be so mythical. They're mythical because they are not the norm.
Yeah.
So again, like, while we did, I feel we got the best of Cuadrado's years. We also got, well, 2 of his worst. So it was time to move on, and the fact that he was able to keep his family in Italy, get a good paying contract, I feel like he deserves that before he moves on to the next portion of his career.
Saudi.
Yeah, so I mean, and where else was he gonna go? I mean, like, he at his age, you're not gonna go and be a Willian and then go to England. Playing in Germany is just gonna be learning a brand new philosophy. I mean, just because you play for Juve doesn't mean, okay, I'm leaving now, I guess I don't get to have a career anymore, right? So I say this loosely. He needs to put bread on the table with his millions and millions of dollars. But yeah, there was no stab in the back. You know what I mean? We agreed that time's up.
So Oscar saying Pirlo played for Milan. Guys, Pirlo was an academy product from Inter's academy before he went over to Brescia and then went to Milan. So Pirlo, yeah, if you guys look it up, same thing with Bonucci. Bonucci was actually, I believe, part of Inter's youth academy as well. So that kind of doesn't surprise me that Bonucci's a snake.
Oh, no,
but
yeah, Pirlo played for Inter too. He played for the snake. He was a snake team. Exactly what I said. He was a snake team first.
Yeah, like he got loaned out to Brescia, and then Brescia essentially gave him his big break, and then Milan took him right after that. So yeah, Pirlo actually started his career there. Same thing again. Like I said, I think same thing with Bonucci as well. I believe Bonucci was a youth academy product from Inter. He didn't go through the Juve academy. But like, again, like, it's just one of those things where you have Juve only players. Look at the Juve ad that came out recently with the players. It's Del Piero and Marchisio. I mean, it's.
I hated that. Oh my God!
Oh, that thing. Yeah, I didn't even look at it.
It's coming through my phone. Oh my God!
I have no care for that. But here's a new face. I don't think we've seen this name before. Francesco Pelliero. He's coming in saying, also, Cuadrado and his family made the decision to want to stay in Italy, and Inter was the only team to offer. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, throw the guy a bone in this case.
Can we make a comment on this dude's stash, though? That's a
I
fun.
know. I was just about to say that.
Yes, that actually is that your stash, or is that I don't know, just something from the internet. Let us know. Let us know if you're rocking that. Man, classic. And people wants Cuadrado to Monterrey. Why? Why would he go to Mexico?
Because he's
not gonna go to Mexico.
He'll go to Mexico. You never know.
No, he'd go back to Colombia, maybe.
Huh?
I don't know if he has to go back.
To Saudi. He's a big enough name that he'll go to Saudi. I don't think he'll play in Colombia again. Colombia is not Brazil, where you can still make money.
If he still has legs at like 40, he'll play for Real Salt Lake or some trash MLS team. Like, do we have to talk about Messi every week, or do we just move on?
Goodness.
I hate that guy.
Him and his stupid League Cup one.
Winning all those made-up trophies. Oh, man. Yeah, he's already won a trophy in the MLS, just like that. Scored.
Oh.
There hasn't been a game where he hasn't scored. He hasn't made a meme of sorts. It's insane.
Oh my goodness.
Christian Vieri is another dude that has played for both squads. Like, there's a
Oh,
lot of...
oh, we got catfished. Darn it. Damn it, we got catfished.
I was looking, I'm like, this guy's got quite the jawline. Jesus.
My friends,
Oh
man.
Holy smokes.
That's a deep cut. Like I remember that. 15, 16. I gotta look that up now. Do we look that up on live? Let's do it. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna all learn about Mike Brown's. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. The live search. Type it in right. Basketball. No, we want some hockey. Here we go. I do not remember this guy. Oh, just Mike Brown. Straight up Mike Brown.
Oh, the stash is made for that.
Yeah, look at that stash. From Chicago, right winger. Born 38 years ago, 85. Another boomer like the rest of us. Interesting. He even played for the Leafs 11, 12, 13. I do not remember that. And then the Oilers, and I was in Edmonton watching the Oilers. I do not remember this guy. He played for the two teams I was watching, and yeah. Why?
He's a fourth liner or something then.
Yeah, like why? Why do you know this guy? Are you a fanboy? Is it just the stash? But there's some deep cuts on the hockey side. I love when we talk about the other sports, and it's finally not WWE this week. People saying hockey much. Yeah, I mean us Canadian, Northern American boys, the ones from Minnesota.
Dash, you're Michigan, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like adopted Canadian.
Pretty much. I hang out with Dave enough. I can get my Canada card now.
Okay. So Leafs fourth line with Orr. So I remember that Colton Orr. So they were just a bunch of bruisers.
That was what the fourth line was back in the 90s. It was the bruiser line.
Yeah, we had Chris Neal over here.
It was it was like Goonies pretty much.
Yeah, no, up until I guess mid 2000s.
Yeah,
when everything started getting soft.
I was gonna say like when the Wings were in their heyday, they just had a bunch of fourth liners that were just like, it was like Holmstrom and McCarty and all those guys that were just there to punch people in the face.
Stevens.
Yeah, Scott Stevens was a bruiser for sure. But Detroit was just a bunch of Russians.
Yeah, well, we kidnapped them.
Yeah, like a bunch of Russian criminals that can play hockey. That's all your team was.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Man, you guys are beautiful to watch back then. 20 years ago, that was a beautiful team to watch.
Yeah, that team was dominant. I always thought that the mid 2000 Wings were more fun for me. Maybe it was just my bias, my recency bias.
Zetterberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like a clean, like that play that the Wings had, especially under Babcock, was just like clean and fun to watch. It's just Babcock was just super stubborn.
Yeah, I think Babcock's more of a bum. You just had such high-level players that they made things happen.
Yeah, I will never forgive him for losing Game 7 at home to Sidney Crosby.
It's Sidney though. He was. He's a bit washed out now, but
it's Canada's LeBron.
Yeah. When a few gold medals, championships, get the repeat with the Penguins, it was pretty huge.
Yeah, you're right. He's
pretty big deal. Yeah, he's kind of the Penguins in general. Everything's dropped off now, but man, up until just a couple years ago, that guy was just balling year in, year out.
Yeah, Ovi has managed to maintain a higher standard over the period of time.
He's got way more grit too. I think that the Russian.
David saying the German commentator for the game was completely bamboozled. He said the whole game like this. This can't be Allegri's Juventus 9-9. I'm just like, you ever see the Hitler, like the Hitler from Inglourious Bastards? 9-9-9-9. Oh yes. Allegri's Juventus. What an incredible offensive force they present against a very good team. Yeah, I'm gonna start handing out those Allegri apology forms for all y'all. I remember all your names, Monsieur Allegri out with the red lines and the paint background. I remember all of you, and I also remember you too, Monsieur Farhead, for saying Allegri was not good.
We should draft up an actual apology form.
Hey, AJ on Twitter has one of those.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. And hey, I also want to say this too, because people were saying that Allegri was responsible for the downfall of Chiesa.
I think he just wasn't back
healthy,
100%.
like everybody with common sense was saying at the time.
Yeah, no, I think even through preseason today, he looked like one of the best. He was. Did we go over the man of the match? Because I want to say Chiesa personally.
That's fine.
No way.
Okay, well, we're all allowed our own man of the match. You're like, no way.
I think you have to give it to Cambiaso or Sandro. I think it's one of those.
I mean, you can make a lot of arguments, but I think just mentality-wise, how Chiesa's like, screw it, this is my season.
Because it's like the thing is like though like
Colin's just like wholeheartedly
and then also to add on about Dusan as well, because again, Allegri doesn't know how to utilize Dusan well and blah. Well, maybe when Dusan matured a little bit like he did this game and actually play in rhythm with the team, it works for him. It worked for him.
There was two different Dusans. This Dusan and let's say like this is 2.0. Last year's Dusan didn't have the work rate. Last year's Dusan was a diva. The guy who came today was not.
Yeah.
Well, the team in general is not diva-ish.
No. Well, besides your boy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chiesa. I mean, you got to have one.
You got to have But another thing I wanted to say is that one person we haven't talked about it at all, and I actually think it's a good thing that we haven't spoken about him, is Loca. I think the less in his position, the less we speak about Locatelli, that the more that means that he's doing the small little intricacies that are making everyone else free.
See, there we can agree.
Yeah, I think he needs to be recognized as well for the fact that he not everybody's going to be the flash that the Chiesa type is, and we just need people who do the basics very well every single time. And this game today, he did that.
Yeah, and I think, Dave, I said it during the actual game itself where I said, well, because, like, for example, we took away creativity, the necessity for creativity from Loca, and Loca was able to just focus on transitional plays. That's what you need. Now that you have someone else that's actually doing the ball creations and all that fun jazz, it's like kind of, Loca kind of turns into, as Vlad just came in, instead of Busquets in a sense, where he just covers in, plays the defensive mid-roll, and just covers the space and covers the area. I kind of want to say this because Chosen said Allegri's having everybody saying L.A. Allegri. Yeah. Dave will get that one. Dave also coming in saying, I got so angry on the freaking Juventus Instagram comments. They were shitting on him last season, and now they put up the success on Macchinelli. I love you, Dave. And then Chosism says Rabiot or Cambiaso is his man of the match. Vlad saying I was impressed with how shitty Chiesa of last season somehow managed 2 goals and 5 assists in Serie A last season. David agrees with Colin. Vlad says Chiesa should be like that Busquets meme.
I was never given a chance to defend myself with Chiesa.
Go for it.
I think
What's to defend? We all saw it.
We all saw it? What do you mean? No. Okay, listen. Because there's so many good names. Let's just put it out there. Because to actually sit here and say this guy 100% was the best. Because I'm even going to throw Tech's name in the mix, right? He got the clean sheet. He had to make some saves. He
put a ball to the face.
He took a ball to the face on a second stop. I mean, come on.
I agree. Like, if I had to pick a player, I mostly am with Dash on this one. While I think Chiesa had a great game, but I think the man of the match is the Mister for me.
Oh, we're going that way. Okay.
L.A. Allegri. Yeah.
Because I think the way he used the players, that he made it so we were interchangeable. Like the previous versions of Allegri, like at Milan and the first round here, he took like you say, he took creativity out of the match altogether. And now the way he's brought people, he's given them assignments, and it looks like they've been given a little more freedom as well. So
how long are we going to be able to get away with saying Allegri's the man of the match until it just becomes the status quo that he's fixed this team?
Until he's the GOAT.
Okay, he gets man of the match this round because he surprised so many people with how we had our foot on the pedal. And I think that's kind of like goes to useless shit after this game. Like Bologna, we expect this now. That's it.
Yeah.
It's professional sports. It's not like your rec team, right? So now that we see we can do it, now we expect it every game. Outside of that, then yeah, Cambiasso had a much more integral part of the game than Church did.
No, I agree. The thing I loved about Freddie Church was just how he is back. Just like how you want to give to Allegri there. Just for having things figured out, tactically speaking. For Chiesa, I just think he's announced that he's back, that he doesn't give a fuck. He's here. He's going to make those head down charges. That the knee doesn't mean anything. He's 100%. He's back. And that's what I love from Chiesa. Not necessarily because he was individually the best player, but he was the one that just spoke to me the most because it's day one. And he's out there and he's scrapping and everything else is behind him now. So that's why he's my man. Dash, you have to talk now.
Oh, do I? Oh. All right.
Dude's falling asleep on us again.
I know. Hey, that means we did well. So I just wanted to follow up here with Josie. I'm saying, yeah. All right. So David saying, do you guys think that Sule could be a cover for Weah, or will we see McKennie? McKennie won that role, in my opinion. I think McKennie's more sturdy, way more sturdy, way more aggressive. I mean, you saw it. Hey, Milik got shoulder touch. Yeah. I mean, did you see McKennie, guys? He just absolutely plowed that dude after he touched Milik. He's like, stay off my quarterback.
Yeah,
if anything, I think Sule can grow into as a cover for Chiesa more than he can grow into a cover for.
Yeah,
I agree.
Weah.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense tactically. I think, though, I wouldn't be upset seeing Sule go and do a season at Feyenoord. I think him in the Dutch league would be interesting. Let him develop his dribble, because that's where all the skillful dribblers start off is in the Dutch league. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, but if he's still on the team, he's still on the team. But it is what it is. And Jeff coming in here saying, "Great game from the lads." Will we see a cameo from Jeff?
Will we? He usually stops. And the lines are open. Colin was here right from the get-go. He was waiting for the phone to ring.
I book my Saturdays around this. I know till about 7:30 I'm going to be with you lads, and then 9 o'clock I can go out with the people.
Nice. Blow them off for your internet friends.
So this is interesting. So David is saying, I think Yildiz is a better cover for Chiesa than Sule. So this is interesting. I think, can we say that Yildiz won the third string role?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Is he the solid fourth option, even more than Kaio George?
Kaio's interesting.
I did not expect him to come in at all.
No, that was actually my favorite part of like Allegri's change is that I think in times past we would have seen Yildiz come up in a match in week 25 to 30.
For 30 seconds.
For 30 seconds, exactly. The fact that he came on was at the 80 or 82nd minute, whatever it was, and was given the last 15 minutes. I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because, like, when I was looking at it, I had to double check. I'm like, no, that's not 15. Holy shit, it is 15.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is he looked comfortable out there. Like, I thought Yildiz was comfortable out there. I mean, he took guys on.
He was okay. He didn't have a whole lot of time, I think, to really feel it out. And the team was dropping back at that point as well. So I don't think we really got to see what we want to see at this point. It's going to take a bit.
I still think he took the bull by the horns, though.
Yeah, I mean, he was running, marking his man, still trying to put a press on, which, I mean, as a fresh striker, you want him to do that, right? Put that little extra pressure on with the fresh legs. But yeah, I mean, it was a good appearance. We didn't even expect him to show up.
Yeah.
And the fact that day one he's there,
Yeah,
just like doing a job, just getting used to things.
I'm just here to get paid.
Ball into his own net. I don't think he really could have done anything really wrong.
Yeah. So like nothing crazy, but we didn't expect him to even show up. So here he is. Yildiz is here.
Vlad coming in saying, have y'all noticed Allegri and his staff is not making Chiesa into a Del Piero type of number 10? He's more so playing like an overloading winger. It's just that interchangeability with Cambiaso and Sandro, and I think Allegri struck gold on that one.
And the fact that Chiesa is a winger more naturally, right? Like he's there because Del Piero and Chiesa aren't the same people, right? So that is the difference in itself. I think that because of who they are, that's why they are different.
Yeah, Chiesa is definitely, he's changing with whatever the attack is on one flank, he's floating to the opposite flank. You can see that every time.
Yep, really good reads by him as well. And David saying, I think he is the option for Chiesa because he is good passing and dribbling, and if it's Keane as a cover for Dusan, then Milik. Yeah.
Milik would play garbage. For me, he was the worst fucking player on the field today.
Yeah, he did not have a good game.
By far.
He was the weakest. Just not in there. We didn't pay much. I mean, at this point, it's looking kind of silly that we bought him because of the fact that we have Kaio George and Yildiz all of a sudden showing up for things.
Yeah. Anthony Gucci coming in saying, if Keane stays, he is the natural sub for Chiesa, Milik for Vlahovic. I just hope that Weah isn't hurt because having McKennie playing that role all season would be a suffer. Yeah, but I don't think
it's that bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Vlad saying
we can afford to do the precautionary stuff, right?
Yeah. Vlad saying, I'm kind of mad that Kaio George hasn't been promoted to the first team yet, along with Yildiz and Hoyson. Technically, he has a number. It's 26.
Well, let's look at that before we get Specsavers in here real quick. So because they took players out from the next gen, they're now missing those positions. And because Kaio has not had any consistent time at all in 2 years, he needs to play more at the level of the next gen to get that match fitness going, where the other guys have been playing consistent are more ready to get in there.
Yeah, ironically, that's where he injured his knee, was the next gen.
But going from that injury into playing against full-grown men would just it would be perilous, I think.
Oh, I think so too. Welcome live from Specsavers HQ. We have KF Squad.
Yes, lads. How's it going?
Good. Yourself?
I'm fantastic, as the great predictor. Thank you. I was the first one to predict 3-0. I know Bones was the same, but, I predicted it first.
Yes.
That must be said.
Yeah.
I have my follower Bones who did say, oh, you know what? That sounds like a shout, and yeah, but that was all me.
It was all KF. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you something for sure.
We'll get you a notebook with a Specsavers logo on it.
I've already got that, You need to think a bit more original. If you think a pen as well, I've got that as well. So, we need something. Maybe a hat. Get me a Specsavers hat. That would be something.
We don't have hats yet.
Convince Farhad to buy a Juve jersey and put Specsavers on the back of it.
Oh, man. So, Hamza, welcome in. What are your thoughts on this match?
Wow, what a game. What a game. I was sitting there. So I had Dave on in the background whilst I was watching the game because but I had to put him on pause because I'm a bit behind. So I was just trying to get the timings right. So it took me 5 minutes to get that done. But I decided to wait a little while longer. So I had you on pause because I'm you know what? I can't be watching behind, but we just scored a goal. So I'm that was just crazy. That came out of nowhere. Wow.
Yeah.
First half, we were amazing. And, I think you guys, I don't know if you guys discussed man of the match, but man of the match Cambiaso, I think that's no one's going to doubt that one. That's straight facts there. Cambiaso has to be the man of the match there. When he left the pitch, it wasn't the same game, we had just said, okay, we've won now 3-0. Let's just take it easy type of thing. The tempo dropped. And, if we were 1-0 up or 2-0 up, maybe that would have been a bit risky. But because we're 3-0 up, they're it's done. It's done. Had a phone call at half time from one of my mates, and he's like, "Oh, what do you think the score's going to be at the end?" I said, "It's going to stay 3-0." we're not going to score another. And it would have been 4 if you went for the offside. So,
Yeah,
that was nice.
The other thing that happened in that period of time, though, was just a few minutes before Cambiasso was subbed out as well, right? So I think that 70 to 80th minute, it all tuned down because of the amount of subs that we made, and I really do think that was Allegri putting a stranglehold on the game. I don't as less so that because Chiesa wasn't there, we missed out.
So
right. Oh, okay.
Dash, you mentioned that AJ had an apology form for Max Allegri. I just found his apology form for Adrian Rabiot.
He's got one. He's got one posted. I know he has one posted on his Twitter.
Yeah, but he just posted this one for Rabiot. First one, I'm a Cristiano fanboy.
I was brainwashed.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch defensive football, even if it meant losing. I think this is FIFA career mode, not real life. I was blindly following the majority. I do not appreciate greatness. I humbly apologize for doubting a great tactician, and I will never do it again.
Excuse me.
There you go.
I've signed one of them Gatti apology forms in the past. But Rabiot's, I've always been his strong believer. If you look back on the channel, I've always been his #1 fan. So no, I don't need to sign that one, guys. So cheers on that.
Thank you. So, and David saying with the new offside rules, it would be a goal by the way, but which half did the rules apply?
I don't know. I think the timing was just buggered on that one. I don't think either rule would have applied to that goal. I really wanted it to happen for Illing and Dusan, but I don't think maybe a portion of his foot kept up with that player's shin, but I think it was a clean offside. It sucks, but I thought it was a clean offside. It
was a nice little finish by Dusan, though. I think Dash was quite impressed.
I was.
Man, yeah, that displays a certain level of fight, right? So,
yeah, because that's a diving header into traffic. Like, I mean, that's I have to
give him the claps. Give him the claps.
Like I said, guys, I try to be consistent here. If I say a player sucks and he plays well and proves me wrong, I'll eat my words. Dusan made me eat my words. That's all I'm gonna say. So hopefully he continues it, because if he continues it, it's good for all of us. We win at the end of the day. So Rav, our good friend Rav, has posted Allegri's DAZN post-match presser here saying, one of the things, this was in regards to Kostic, he said, or no, Chiesa actually, I'm sorry, just kidding. There are 2 things to improve on. One, looking at the second half, is ball management. The second thing to do is to defend differently in the midfield. Chiesa, in my opinion, is a striker. He has to score 14 to 16 goals. Having him play as a winger is an understatement, is what he just said to DAZN. Any thoughts on that?
Sorry, who's quoted as saying that?
That is Allegri saying that.
That's
those are heavy words.
That's bold. I love it. I fucking love that.
Yeah. I mean, he did that with Rabiot a couple seasons ago when it didn't work out, but then last season it did, when he said Rabiot should be scoring 10 goals.
Well,
he's putting
maybe with that kind of support, Chiesa will actually earn a man of the match.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing, so Chiesa was also talking with DAZN as well, and Chiesa said, "Today we played a great match. We were intense in the first half. This is modern football. We mustn't shut ourselves up and we must be proactive. Mercato, you must talk to the director. We think on the field the goals return to the Champions League, then we'll see."
Yeah. Sir? Just seems like Max words to me. Pretty standard, right? But not being around the bush at all.
I think it's interesting that that Max was like, "Yeah, Chiesa, I need you to drop 16."
Yeah, exactly. Just be like, this is what we expect. This is a new leaf. We have this new momentum. The bullshit. There's no bullshit this year. Essentially, we're playing clean.
The clarity from the top down, though, I think management have said, like, listen, you are all disposable. If you do not perform, you all be gone. There is no cushion anymore. There is no the extended grace period that Dybala had, that kind of stuff, the Bonucci era. And again, coming from a pro Bonucci guy, and I think the fire has been put to everyone's feet, where now they're just like, yo, we are not here for our luxury stay in Northern Italy. Now we're here to compete. And I think last year we might have had a bit of a prima donna mentality. And I think they realize like there's a lot to be earned this season.
Well, you know, the thing is the one thing I kind of wanted to comment on is I think you got to give credit to Gintoli. The reason is right less than a week that he came in, he goes up to your captain, allegedly Bonucci, and says, "Yeah, you're done."
Mhm.
And the thing is think about it if I'm another player. So think of it if I'm Chiesa or Dusan, where you're like, dude, he just told Bonucci, like he just went up to Bonucci and said, "Hey,
No,
you're
nobody's
done."
safe. You know that nobody is safe at that point.
So, and that's the thing, because like for example, allegedly Bonucci caused some drama within the locker room last season. So there's that too. So like you think about it, Gintoli was like, "Hey man, I don't care who you are, even if you're the club captain, if you don't fit with what we're trying to do, you're done." And I think doing what he did to Bonucci essentially lit a fire on everybody's ass.
Yeah, I love it. Vlad coming in saying Allegri also said that he saw 10 goals in Big Mac as well. He could technically, sure.
I think he can.
But I think he's playing a right wing back.
He'll get them from headers. I think he can. I think he'll get 3 to 5 from headers this year.
Yeah,
If the strategy stays the same where he's coming on in that way, I think McKennie is definitely capable of it.
Yeah, so he's another interesting name. There's still a few questions, obviously, with some of these guys. McKennie. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that substitution, did they?
Yeah, I was gonna say, were you guys like surprised of like making 2 subs when you're winning 3-0 at halftime? Like that was a bit like, I think Weah was a bit tired, to be honest. I think that's maybe why.
No, he got stepped on. He got stepped on really badly, so they wanted to protect him.
Yeah. I think it was a little precautionary. Maybe like they were up 3-0, right? They didn't need to force that on.
Yeah, exactly. I think Allegri realized that the match was almost in hand, and that he can afford to see what he could use in his toolkit. So I think just the statement that he said and the substitutions, I think will be a lot more adventurous this year. And win or lose, if we're going to be playing that style, I can't be upset. I feel like this season may not be an instant glory, but if he's taking that type of route, I can't help but support it. I'm happy that he's giving the youth the opportunity. I'm happy that he's vertically using the lanes now. I'm happy, boys. In general, I'm just happy.
Beauty.
We've got squad depth this season. You know that's something that's big here. Because we're only playing 2 competitions if you think about it. So, so yeah, I think it was a bit like it was a nice thing to see that, you know, we can put 2 players on when we didn't really need to, and we're winning the game at halftime. And it's like, yeah, there's still quality players. Okay, McKennie, you know, everyone has their reserves about McKennie because this guy, he's good at throw-ins and headers, but more.
There you go.
Jeff's there at the car. He's got his jersey on.
Guys?
Good old Florida behavior.
This pure delinquent behavior right there.
Oh man, what's going on?
Oh man.
If he gets in an accident, disconnect him right
I
away.
can't hear you guys.
He's like, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Man, this guy's a shit show. Love it.
Yeah, I can't hear you guys at all.
You probably got some Bluetooth thing going on right now. Okay, he'll come back. He'll sort his life out.
So Allegri was asked about Kostic, and he said, "Why didn't I play Kostic? I also have Illing there too, and they are both in the same role. Had Fede come off earlier, I would have probably put Philip on first, but with him still on the field, I preferred Samuel. Again, I told you guys, I think Kostic and Chiesa essentially kind of step on each other's feet. So
they take the same space.
Yeah.
For that saying, what is Ryan Gosling doing there? Are you referencing Jeff? Is Jeff supposed to be Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
Vlad.
So I kind of wanted to pull this up and have you guys. Here's a tweet from Julian Gennatti from Bianconeri Zone. He says, Udinese 0, Juve 3. Udinese is a relegation candidate. Juve was dynamic in the first half and efficient in front of goal. Second half was abysmal. Speed of play needs to be faster the whole game, but at least there's player movement off the ball. Thoughts on that tweet?
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I think you can't expect that type of tempo for 90 minutes to start the season. That's something you got to build into. The players only really came back. They came back July 10th. Then we went through the States. I mean, I think that if you want that type of play for 70 plus minutes, you're looking closer to December, January. To demand that right now is delusional, especially after last year. I think he did exactly what he needed to do. We got our lead and we put it on a chokehold and maintained it and did not give up a goal. And by not giving up a goal and maintaining that second half, we really strengthened our confidence. So fuck that guy. Fuck Bianca's zone. You cast all those bumps.
Throwing it out there.
Alrighty. Anybody else got any thoughts on that?
Well, fuck IFTV as well. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought we were going to vent here. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. We've unlocked the pure debauchery now. Well, I thought it was interesting because he's like, Udinese is a relegation candidate, where I'm like, okay, pump your brakes here. Like, but the thing is, it's like, I don't understand this statement here where it says Juve was dynamic in the first half, efficient in front of goal. Okay, so they were good, right? And then it's like second half was abysmal. I don't understand that. You go up 3-0 in the first half. What the hell do you guys want? 6-0?
And is Udinese ever really a relegation candidate? Yeah, you can make an argument, but what does that even mean, right? That's just like bullshit wording.
They beat some big teams last season.
They did.
They finished very comfortably in the table
for the league last season, I think, right?
Yeah, so, for the first half of the season, they were on fire.
Somebody needs to send this dude a dictionary. Abysmal is not the word he wanted to use.
No, I mean, there's levels of education in this world, and not all of us have the privilege to be given the greatest here in Canada. We have a very
US because you have to pay for it in the US, and in England it's free. Yeah.
You know,
no, he's Canadian. It's just he's from a trashy part of Canada. So I mean, it's
that makes sense.
Hamilton.
I just like that. It's just like the thing is, it's like I don't understand. Like it was a great win, great way to start up the season, but it's like, oh, Juve played abysmal in the second half. Like I don't understand. Like the thing is like, is there a different team that goes up 3-0 at halftime and is like, fuck it, let's go for 8? Like I've never seen a team sit there and
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that could be a German thing. I think we need to focus on what Vlad said. We got to remember Monza. We had a lot of problems not having the right tempo for these matches. You know, there's a lot of things that happened off the field for this match that need to be taken into account. Vlad's bang on.
Yeah. Well, it's Serie A. I think all the relegation sides are tough. Lecce beat Lazio 2-1. Salernitana tied Roma after Roma being up 2-0. So it's like how it's just for me, it's pure ignorance when you're sitting there and you're like, well, it's a relegation candidate. Dude, all the relegation candidates that Dave and I thought, we thought Lecce would be in there and Salernitana were there, practically upset. It's Serie A. It doesn't matter if a team's 18th, 19th, or 20th, especially now at the beginning of the season where they're like, hey, let's punch someone in the mouth because they're not expecting it. Inter struggled against Monza. Hell, if Inter didn't get that, if Anatovic didn't create that assist for Lautaro, hell, Monza might have equalized that game.
I think Monza's still going to be scaring people this year, and I think people need to put some respect on Anatovic, though. Anatovic is a grinder. I know a lot of people kind of ho-hummed when Inter signed him. He's one player that kind of scares me because he shows up.
Yeah,
he never.
I like him. I've always liked
targeting him last year, right? We were targeting him last Mercato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I kind of like them. I'm a fan. I know he's not like a prolific number one striker. I mean, he shouldn't be for Juventus. But yeah, like he's somebody that you put in the 60th minute when the game's grinding down when you are playing Inter. So maybe that's what we'll see when we play them. Is Arnautovic in the 60th?
Sorry, I'm just feeling a bit sick, to be honest. Talk about Inter.
Nah, neither.
Hey, you know who we never got a minute to say anything is Gompachero, man. Like we just went on hard. And he just kind of came in.
Yeah, get in there, sir. You're being too polite.
No, I mean,
You gotta say, Dave Dash, shut the fuck up. I'm getting tired of you guys' BS.
No, we love the Giants. That's why we're on this channel. We love the Giants. No, man.
Thank you. We love you guys too.
But yeah, I have some questions though, like just
Go
from what
for
I
it.
saw. Because you guys, like, as I said, I've only been watching soccer like 6 years. I don't understand much, like, especially with the movement. But, like, so what's wrong with Kostic, and why doesn't he like to come inside like Cambiaso does? Because
He
when
does
you saw
not have the.
Cambiaso go inside,
Mhm.
then Chiesa has all the room to be on the flank, you know.
So
and they're
the-
interchanging.
Yeah, so the issue with Kostic is Kostic doesn't have the dynamism in his legs. He's just not flexible in a sense where he's able to do that. The thing is he's very one-footed and also very slow. Maybe it's because he's 30 years old. I don't know. But the thing is Kostic is take it, drag it out to the touchline, and then send it in, where Cambiaso can play with both feet and is able to essentially just do different adjustments. And Jeff coming in saying, just witnessed an apartment on fire. So breaking news, Florida man has lit an apartment on fire, everyone. But the thing is like with Cambiaso, his ability to essentially interchange and move all over the pitch. I mean, you even saw it with Alexandro as well, where it's like Kostic doesn't really have that capability. He's, again, I don't mean it in a disrespectful sense, because he does what he does quite well, actually, but really more so he is a one-trick pony. Hug it out wide, send it into the middle, hope someone taps it in.
Chiesa drifts so much that you need the versatility, like you saw with Cambiaso when he took the shot. He cut inside, and Chiesa was on the left-hand side. So, and I agree with Vlad. I don't know why I keep calling him slow. I don't think he's slow.
I mean, slow on the ball. Like, for example, when he has the ball, he's not, like, for example, the one thing for me where I'm considering it quickly is, like, for example, if I'm Timmy Weah and I have the ball and I have just area behind the defender, I'm flicking the ball into that open space and I'm chasing the ball down. I don't see Kostic do that per se. Like, I mean, he might have burners as far as like without the ball, but like a lot of times where I see him with the ball, it's just like, for example, it's not an explosive stride, an explosive first stride, like, for example, you would see with Chiesa, where Chiesa is able to take the ball and your feet are still stuck while Chiesa is moving around you. I haven't seen that with Kostic. I could be wrong, but that's more so what I'm going with there.
I was seeing the explosion of Kostic last year, like, and we really needed him last year to generate the passing from the flanks, I think. But like now, if someone would like to buy him for 20 or more, I think it's a good idea to sell him. 2 weeks ago, I wanted to keep him at all costs, but now it's like I saw Sam, who's good and should have the minutes of Kostic, and I saw Cambiaso great on the left. So, and we have Lord DeCilio who will come back on the left. So I think you can sell Kostic for.
I think we'll only get 7 or 8 million though for him.
Oh yeah, because maybe he's over 30. So
he's actually 30 on the dot.
Yeah,
so I just
that's
double checked it.
He's currently valued at 22 million transfer market.
We're not getting
I think, I would be very lucky to hit 20. I think closer to 15.
Yeah, but like, who would like to buy him? Is there any rumblings or rumors about that? Because I think it'd be great if we can sell him to make room and have money.
Mr. Elitok was kind enough to let us know that apparently Wolfsburg is looking into him, and I think I read about Aston Villa as well.
Yeah, there's been some sniffs. It really has only been a week or so that he's kind of.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
he's just kind of like being known to come onto the market just recently, right? So, he's going to be one of these later market moves, I feel.
The only thing that's good about later market is I find a lot of the sales your last week will say
panic buying,
overpriced. So maybe we'll be able to juice somebody, but I don't think we're juicing Wolfsburg. We're not juicing a German team. Might juice Villa, but that's about it.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, 10 days left.
Are we talking about Kostic right now?
Yes, sir.
Still. Yeah, okay. So, no, I don't think we should sell him. Sorry. I think he's a great player, and I think he was like great last season as well. And I think he brings something a bit different to our team. I think Illing lacks. I know he's a great player and he's like amazing. Like he's like a future star. Like that guy is like the man. But it's like I think that Kostic is just more like responsible. Like like he's got that experience, and you see last season, beginning half of the season, this guy was like top player for us. So yeah, man, I think we keep him one more season, and if he's agrees to be a rotational, that's fantastic. I have to keep Kostic any day because he's got that creativity. Like, you know, them crosses, lethal. Even though it's the same type, very lethal.
So let's turn it around on you then. So if you want to keep him and to use his crosses, who are we crossing to? What aerial contenders are going to be going for those headers? Because that's not Chiesa. It's not Vlahovic. McKennie, I think McKennie will get on a few of them.
But he does a lot of these low-driven crosses as well. It's not just in the air. Like, if you saw it last season, he did like maybe 4 or 5 low-driven crosses. I think that's more often he does that than he brings the height in, to be honest. So,
what's the percentage of 4 or 5 low crosses when you're taking 2,000?
I know what you mean. But it's just if you think about it, look, if you go back last year, yeah, think about the first half of the season, yeah. I know we weren't playing great, but Kostic was the only bright light. So
at the beginning, yeah, and then he tapered.
No,
off.
but in like, for example, in the Serie A last season, I think the top assist was Kvaratskhelia from Napoli, but the second was Kostic.
You know when we needed Kostic? We needed Kostic when we had the Warrior here. When Mandzukic was still around, we needed a Kostic. That's when we needed him. Now
that could have worked.
Even with Ronaldo.
Absolutely. Now what we have is a scenario where we've got a lot of youth players and we're changing systems. And Kostic, 1 foot in, 1 foot out on fitting this system. So we can keep him and then take minutes away from Cambiasso, take minutes away from Illing, or we can turn it around for a little profit. I think because of, I completely agree with you. Last year, he was one of the very few shining lights at the beginning of the season. But I just feel because of the direction we've taken, I don't feel like we can afford to give him that lack of a better term, that loyalty.
Yeah, and it's like he was great, but then we would see it's awkward. Yeah, it's awkward when Chiesa is on the left and Kostic is also on the left. Like I just couldn't understand last year why they're bumping into each other or they're interrupting each other's flow. But now we saw today Cambiasso the left wing back has to sometimes alternate with Chiesa, move inwards. Sometimes Chiesa goes in, sometimes, just like on the first and second and the third goal.
Yeah, I think it's a case of opposites attract, right? So we have one player that likes to drift left quite often, and then you have Cambiasso who's capable of drifting to the inside. Whereas Kostic, as Dash said last time, I made a comment about maybe Kostic taking on a Robin role, and then Dash said the only way that happens is if he goes to the right side because he's got sweet fuck all for a right foot. He's not that versatile to do it, so we can't. To keep him would mean to be taking minutes away. I mean, the only reason we'd keep him is if we don't see De Sciglio coming back.
Yeah, and I think you have to develop
as a fifth guy.
Yeah, and you have to develop Sam, or else he's going to go to the Premier League next summer.
Even if he does, we can't sell him as is. He needs to be better than he was last year. Or we're going to take a loss on him. So we play him. He will develop. I have faith in him. I think if let's say like they decide not to keep him, I think we can get a good 30 million just because he's English and English teams overpay.
Definitely. Well, so I gotta run because my battery is gonna die. I want 3%. So catch you guys in a bit, man. Sorry.
Are you coming back? Or are you out of here?
I'll see if it charges fast. But yeah, I don't normally use my stuff when it's charging, and I'm on my tablet. So what I'll do is I'll let you know.
You got to get the Specsavers charger, fast charger.
You know what? We'll see. We'll see how long you guys are live for, and maybe in like half an hour, I'll see if you guys are still on, and I'll jump on.
Alrighty, sounds good. All right, so go ahead.
Cheers, man.
All right, Hamza. Yeah, I'm gonna have to punch out too because I have to.
I was just gonna ask you guys this question, but you guys are bowing out. Unbelievable. So before we go, because this is in terms of you guys' conversation. So David says we got to choose between Kostic and Illing. The question is do we count on a known commodity that has a good base level or an explosive young guy with high potential that has highs and lows? Compatro, take lead because you got to go soon.
Oh, thank you. So I would say just you have to get rid of Philip Kostic and keep Sam Illing Jr. because of the awkwardness between Chiesa and Kostic. They keep bumping into each other, interrupting the flow of each other's game. So that's not great, especially because we want Chiesa to be our man, you know, the club future club legend, and to score many goals for us. So we want him to have more offensive room, I guess, then get rid of Kostic and now on to Colin.
Definitely Illing. Kostic is at he's plateaued. As you said, the potential's there for Illing. My big thing with Illing is he's so young, and he's already he's not selfish. He'll track back. He'll do the shitty, dirty work to get the ball moving. We saw it last year at the end of the season. So I would take the highs and the lows and bet on the potential as opposed to Kostic, especially if we have a few teams that are nibbling now.
Yeah. The one thing I'm thinking is if I had to choose, because like for example, the thing is Kostic, yes, is a known commodity, but like for example, he's essentially the second option right now to Cambiaso. So for me, Cambiaso is your solid guy that he has to be good. You can take a risk on Illing because you have the room to sit there and be like, okay, let me take the gamble, let me take the shot. Yeah, like for example, resale value right now for Kostic is higher than, or Illing is higher than Kostic. I get that. But like, here's the thing. If you have Illing develop as a really good number 2, or that he could develop and become a 1B, goes from a number 2 to a 1B. If you can't decide whether or not you're going to key, like who's going to start between Kostic or Illing or Cambiaso, then you could essentially flip Illing for a higher capital gains to the Premier League after. Because like right now, the thing is you take a chance on Illing, you ship out Kostic, and you take a chance on Illing and let Illing develop. Because Illing has the ability to become a 1B if he actually continues on his trajectory, where it's like, again, you have a commonality with Kostic, but I think Cambiaso provides you with that commonality that you want. So what's the point of having Kostic if he's just going to ride the bench?
I think you also risk alienating Chiesa a little bit offensively.
Yeah. Yeah, Vlad wants to know, but why did we give 11 to Kostic? It's more so the players taking it. If there's a free number, they're going to take it. So like Cuadrado out of the door, Kostic's like, give me that number. I mean, it's...
Yeah, 11's not a super iconic
number.
number.
The numbers don't really mean much, to be honest with you, unless
like 11 kind of is because it's the starting 11. You're within that first 11 numbers, so in a sense, it's like, yeah, I'm a starter. If you go by those rules, but they don't really mean anything.
Yeah, and we have interesting numbers at Juve too, like the 21, which is not a traditional number, but it's a special place of all Juventini.
Yes, which Fagioli just took a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So
he looks well in the 21. Nicky Beans.
I like it. Maybe I might get. I don't know.
I don't know if he's earned it yet, but I mean, if there is a player wearing it, I'm glad it's Fagioli. But I don't know if he's earned it yet.
We'll see what kind of season he did look good. I liked how he looked today. He looks a lot more mature, stronger, more just focused on the match. He's growing up, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of weird, but he's just grown up.
No, I don't disagree with you.
He's a big boy.
But those are big shoes the big boy's got to fill.
Yeah. He's willing to take that on.
Looks like it, yeah.
So good for him. So there was a couple stats I just want to breeze through real quick that I didn't get to say before the game, but it's always fun after the game to see how these stats kind of looked out, right? So Juve have scored in the last away matches against Udinese. That is now 9. Juve have won the most Serie A season openers at 59, now 60. August is the best month for Dusan, 1 goal every 88 minutes. I don't know what the exact number is now, but still looking good. Max Allegri is only the second coach in Juve history to reach 250 wins. Last guy, Giovanni Trapattoni, in the 29-30 season. He sits at 319.
Jesus.
Holy smokes.
So there's your quick stat roundup, lowdown. I'll have to make a name up for that. We struggled so hard for the Monday segment for a name.
Dude, what are you drinking?
It's a cola with rum.
He's like, it's a cola with rum.
I just knew it's always like there's liquor in your coffee mug.
Not always. No, sometimes
Oh,
it is
okay.
coffee.
Okay.
Like I started with coffee today.
Oh, that looked like there was
Absolutely.
like lemons or such shit in there. I was just like, what the heck is he drinking?
Oh, ice. I finally got a fridge with that makes ice, and now I just can't stop making ice. It's just right there. Just gotta press the button. I got ice. It's great. I love it.
You know, it's funny. So I've been seeing this meme right now with Lazio losing a Lecce, and everyone's like, but they signed the great Ravella.
Oh, but so how many minutes did he play today?
I don't think he played at all.
No? Oh man.
Well, he only went there. It's only been a week.
Yeah, I don't think he played at all. I just thought it was funny because everyone's like, because you know how everyone was like losing their mind over it, and they're like, he signed the great Ravella. Luca played. Pellegrini played.
Well, Pellegrini's kind of been with the team, so
Yeah, Pellegrini played for 18 minutes, but I don't think Ravella saw the field at all. I don't think he's healthy.
maybe
He's
not.
on the
Maybe
he was
he's
on
not.
the bench. He's on the bench. He was not utilized.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna have to punch
We'll see ya.
out. Everyone
Oh, yes,
support
absolutely.
support
Thank you.
the Turin Giants.
Thanks, buddy.
Make sure you guys like said video.
Yeah.
Like it, damn
Maximum
it.
likes. Okay,
All
guys.
the likes.
All the likes.
All of them, god damn it. Put them all in there.
Throw them in there.
All right, so I mean we are actually trying to cut the post games a little bit shorter because it turns into a long stream. So let's go with like final call here. Colin, do you have any final issues? The airing of the grievances.
Absolutely not. I have no grievances. I'm really, really happy with this game. There was a lot of times I was yelling at the TV last year, and I didn't even raise my voice to the television. So I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, looking forward to Bologna next week.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
he
the
said
way-
Bologna, Dave. Come on, man.
Oh, you heard that too
Bologna.
then.
Bologna,
you
not
said-
Bologna.
You
I said
I
Bologna.
No, you said I'm looking forward to Bologna next week.
No.
Yes, you
Bologna.
did. It's recorded. It's recorded.
The most important thing, Vlad is happy that Colin is happy, and then Patience Rove. I know he will, but just let me troll for a minute, guys. Let me have some fun. Let me have some shenanigans. Look, my final thoughts is, hey, you can argue and say we beat Sassuolo 3-0 at the beginning of last season too. A couple of different things. One, this was an away game in Udinese. I don't care what anyone says. Playing Udinese at the beginning of the season is always tough. The other thing is we went into it knowing what formation, what system we're doing, and also, knock on wood, we did not have the amount of injuries that we had last year. Right now, the only person that is out is Pogba, and Pogba is allegedly out, air quotes. And the other thing,
Chilio is the only
Chilio.
yeah.
We can't win without Lord Chilio. And my final thought is, and I said this before, this preseason was a hell of a lot better than last year's preseason because we got smoked by 4 goals of Alvaro Morata. Yeah, that was bad last preseason.
That was bad. Oh man, no, it's things are looking up overall. We did have high spirits coming in off the preseason. Maybe that last game at Atalanta, but we saw it for what it was, and we had really high hopes for this Udinese game. And my lord, it was great. The first half, the 3. I kind of wish they spread them out because Allegri's still gonna lock her down. I was hoping for that 4th goal just as a big like FU right at the end, but no, we saw
should have got 8.
Should have got 8.
Apparently.
Yeah, should have got 8. No, it's still Allegri at the end of the day. He is not gonna blow a 3-0 lead like that, not foolishly at least, right? So, as expected, very happy to see all the goal scorers, all the assist makers. So many men of the match to choose from, right from the goalkeeper up to the strikers, right? So just great all around. It's kind of a bummer that I'm now going on vacation. I'm gonna miss the Bologna game.
You gonna miss Bologna?
I will. I will actually be in Florence that day, and I'm probably not going to get to watch any footy at all. So I don't know.
It's okay, Dave. Everyone
don't
will
know.
have me. I'll be here.
Yeah, you will be there.
Are you going to be seeing any games while you're overseas?
I'm going to miss
All of
everything.
them.
I'm going. So the schedules aren't out. I might be able to catch like a third or fourth division at best because it's the international break. It kind of sucks. It's kind of it's horrible timing. Really horrible timing.
Still gonna. I would almost argue that a third or fourth division league game, the atmosphere is going to be even more crazy.
It's
absolutely.
still going to be an experience, yes, and I won't turn that down. If I don't even care. I don't even know what teams are in the third and fourth division from Calabria, but I'll find out. Sam Adamo, actually, I messaged him. He gave me like a whole list. He's like, "Yeah, check all these teams out," because he's following like Catanzaro this year. And so Tino, it's funny. This guy Tino started with the team. He's now in his 30s, comes back, scored a penalty in the first 2 games now. So yeah, I mean, there's some excitement down there. That's there to be, but like I don't care. Like there's always that excitement. They're all fight for something, and there's gonna be crazy Calabrian provincial, just insane uncles filling the stands, right? So yeah, absolutely. If I can catch it, it's going to be a thing.
We're still going to win the Scudetto, 1 game at a time, but guaranteed first place.
Yes. 37 more to go.
I know. We've gone undefeated before.
Oh, don't, man. People are going to yell at you for saying things like that.
I mean, hey, at least I'm not making a blasphemy take like Julian did. That was stupid.
Okay, come on. We're thought we moved on from that.
I'm sorry. There's a chance to dunk. I'm dunking.
Yes.
Being official Instagram influencer.
I was there. You know what? I actually screwed up. And they cut out my screw up, which is nice. I did have my squinty eye though, because the sun, it was in the winter, and it's like that sun just over the horizon, just like right in your face. You get that just in the afternoon when you live further north. That sun is just always in your eyes. It's super annoying.
It was interesting because they cut Bepe's scene too, like because Bepe started with like the Uniti talk, but like they cut out like maybe to like the last 5 minutes where Bepe's like, "I love this shirt." So
yeah,
they did a lot of editing.
Oh, for sure. Obviously, they did a lot of editing, but I thought it was good because basically what I said at the end, I didn't say Unity, I said Unita, and Unita is like a workers' union.
Oh, that would have been ironic if that went through. Oh man, you could see all the people at the Fiat plant losing their fucking mind.
So it's similar but different.
Oh man, I could just imagine the Fiat plants over there in Torino. They'd be like, "Hey, this Dave guy."
Yeah. Start a riot on the production lines. Oh man. But yeah, that's that. Dash is gonna take care of you from now on out until after the international break.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you, and I'll try to touch base as best I can, I suppose, as I can in and out of signal. When I am in Turin, when I'm gonna mess completely everything, I'm taking a nice wine tour, courtesy of Around Turin, the travel agency of Around Turin, Maurizio. Should hopefully be seeing that with Kevin next week.
Ooh,
given
Dave and Kevin, video. We make a video with Dave and Kevin. Maybe
we'll see. I'm not promising anything. Timelines are tight.
Kevin got new microphones.
Yeah, so, timelines are tight, but things there might be content. I'm bringing the camera, so yeah, I'll see you. Might not see you. I don't know. I'll catch you soon. Deal with Dash and Colin. I mean, you're gonna be sorry. EAFC, absolutely. EAFC, do that. I think that's all I got. That was an awesome stream. It did not feel the music. He cut me off. You're right.
Oh, that pause was awesome. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I absolutely trolled my broadcast partner, but it was totally worth it. So again, guys, make sure you like and subscribe because you guys are in tune for a week of 2 of Dash shenanigans where I will troll the hell out of you for the next 2 weeks while Dave's on vacation. But on another note, guys, we won. I would play my weird trombone music, but apparently someone deleted my soundbite for that. I'm not too heartbroken, but it is what it is. Dave, any final words?
I don't recall deleting that. It's there. Love you guys. I'll see you in a few weeks. Until next time. Forza Juve. Fino alla fine.
Beat Bologna.